Hey, Suzanne, how are you? Okay, now we're good. So as I said before, I was figured out how to stream in a couple of places at once. And I tried it the other day, and today it's the go live. Good evening to everyone. Again, we are looking to, I know, the fall season already. So I wanted to, start off with sharing across all platforms as we come into the summer season, as we get ready for fall. So we are able to stream on my personal page, my Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. And you can see us all there. So tonight we're making blocks. And I know, Suzanne, you had sent me a request for one, and request for one, and I never got it done. Don't worry, I will. Different order. It's going to take me some time to figure it out. Okay. Can you all see me there? You see the chair, and then I move the chair, and then, okay. All right, here we are. So, fall. So we're working on fall. We've done these blocks before. As I said, we can stack them. We can put them this way, put them that way. But usually we paint them. We do them white. Yeah, I figured we have some time, Suzanne, with football. But that's why I knew. Last time we did these, we painted them. And then we put vinyl over them and Mod Podged them, and we, just put the word love on them. And then we did some with St. Patrick's, and then we did Bill's ones. And then we tied a piece of twine around it. And then, you had a nice. So I had a special request for summer ones. And while summer came, and I didn't get them out in time for the store. So get ahead of the game and start fall. So I know summer hasn't even officially started. It hasn't even hit the calendar yet. And we've had a couple of nice days, but we're working on fall. As I said, business owners of craft shops start ahead of schedule. All the falls out coming in. I know. Before we get started, tell me, how was your week so far? It's Thursday. It's Friday Eve. Tell me how you guys made it through the work week so far, and what y'all had for dinner. I always want to know what you had for dinner. I didn't get these hips by not thinking about food and making food, right? So I want to know what y'all had. It's like the highlight of these, right? That we can discuss what we all had for dinner. I always ask Jackson when I food prep, what do you want for this week for dinner? I don't know. So this week he said, how about, homemade pancakes? So I made homemade pancakes, and of course I burnt them. And Josh had to come out and help me because he's like really good at the pancakes. So I told Jackson, I said, don't expect those for a while again. He laughed. But I made homemade pancakes, and we good. So what did you guys all have? Tell me what you had, if you had something good. Let me know who's good at making pancakes too. Anybody? My Mod Podges. You're a quiet bunch tonight. If you're here, say hi. I'm hoping last week I didn't see everybody's chat, so hopefully, if you're here, tell me, are you seeing this on Cher's Craft Addict, YouTube, or all right. So before we get started, some Mod Podge. We're going to do these ones a little different. We're going to use scrapbook paper. We're going to Mod Podge it on. And I've already pre-cut these to 2x2. I did use the Cricut. You can cut them by hand do not have to be perfect because we're going to actually sand the edges towards the end. So you're just gonna, these are 2x2 blocks. I actually ordered these on Amazon and they equaled out to like 40 cents a piece. So they weren't expensive. You can go to the dollar store. They're like 2.25. They're $1.25. So they are a smidge of a lot more. These are also solid pieces of wood. So if you sand, you can't sand through them. Where at the dollar store, you can sand right through the edges. Suzanne said we had pizza. Most important part of pancakes is temperature before putting batter on. Yeah, and that's my bad part. I'm not good at that. I want to do everything on high. And so Josh is like, you got to turn down. You got to turn down. But we have an electric stove. And what happens with electric stove? Who's got electric? When you turn it down, it really doesn't turn down for a while. So you're thinking, oh, I turned it down and then, whatever. But you're still cooking. So I think it went from like almost high to almost not on at all by the time Josh was done. And then his pancakes turned out perfect. But anyhow, bake pizza at home, or did you get it from somewhere good? Because there's some good pizza places around here. We did pizza 2 nights ago, I think it was. And we have the grill for the piece for the grill to make them, but it was raining, so we didn't. I made them in the oven. They were good. Anyhow, so we're going to Mod Podge each side. We are inside. I painted these. You do not have to paint them. We're not going to do the bottom because who's looking at the bottom, right? But we want to be able, if someone wants to turn them or something like that, they can. And it just looks better. So for Mod Podge, there's a couple different kinds. And I don't know if everybody knows this. So there's, and I have probably most of them here. And that's why I was looking. Okay. So there is the regular Mod Podge, which when I was a kid, it had just came out or was becoming popular. And my mother Mod Podged everything. Anyhow, needless to say, this was the original one, and it's gloss, luster. They have a matte one, and you put it on, you use it the same as any other. And then they have the outdoor one, which you can use for doing like signs outside, and it will hold up to the weather. And it actually dries very nice. And I've done a couple of signs with it. Many signs actually, but you have to let it cure for 28 days before putting. And then this is just this one, but it's the matte. And then there's dishwasher safe Mod Podge. So if you take like a plate and you put in the back of it, you can stick it in the dishwasher, or if you do a vase, or if anything like that, and you can wash it. And it does actually hold up, but I would say put it in the top rack. So there's all kinds of different Mod Podges. I personally like the matte. I do use the dishwasher one a lot. You can see I have a couple of them because, when I'm making something for someone, I don't know what they're doing with that, right? So I want to make sure that it's going to hold up to whatever they do with it. They drop in, have above the sink and drop it in the water. I want to make sure it's held up. Suzanne, a pizza oven. We prefer Lock City and homemade. We are exactly the same. We prefer Lock City and homemade. If anybody's from the Buffalo area, you got to head over to Lockport and try their pizza. It's kind of like a New York style, and it's that kind that you really like, and it's a well done, the kind that you fold in half and have the grease drip down your hand. Made it to Tim Hortons today, thank God. And then the last Mod Podge there is it's a spray Mod Podge, and I will use this at the end. You don't have to, but it is a sealer, and it just gives a nice overall finish at the end. So I do use that. You probably will, because I do try to do this in and I tend to take. I mean, I can do it up here and open the windows, but I tend to just take it downstairs and do it outside if the weather's nice. So there's that. So again, I cut the pre-cut squares and I picked 4 designs or 4 patterns. I have these nice green ones. Nothing fancy about them. They were just like a fall little, they reminded me of a witch's brew, right? So, and they got like some black edges around them. So I picked that one. Then I wanted to kind of go with the same shades of color, and I didn't have any because this is just scrap paper I had laying around here. But I found this nice, and it's actually floral on the camera. Let me see. This is a different one. This is all on the same sheet, but each one comes out a little different. So I have that one. And then I found this orangey yellowy one, and it's got like a texture to it. And it wasn't until I was cutting it that I realized it's black cats and skulls intertwined together. Isn't that cute? I don't know, you can't really see it, but it is cute. And then I wanted a little bit darker, so I found this brown with some orange flowers on it. And then I just didn't have a fourth one. And a lot of these come double-sided scrapbook papers. So I actually just used the back of this one. So this is kind of like a sawtooth pattern. I know it's hard to see and the camera's not the greatest. Cindy, you had a burger and a salad. So we had burger and salad yesterday, and I skipped the bun. Okay. So only other things you're going to need. I got the letter falls already printed out. You can buy these already made, cut out, and you're going to need your transfer tape, your scraper, and because we're going to sand the edges, I have my little Dremel. Okay, so this is really easy, guys, easy peasy. You can use whatever size. I get these at the Dollar Tree. You get like 5 or 6 for $1.20. I like the smaller one because they fit in the container. Now you can put this on a pallet and do whatever you want. This is how I prefer to do it. So I'm just going to put it on one side, just like that. You don't need a thick coat. You just need a little bit there. Okay. And I'm going to start with this pattern, the floral one. All I'm going to do is after I put the Mod Podge on it, stick it on there. Just like when you were in school and you had that paste that was real thick and the kids would eat it and you'd be like, oh, right. You know what I'm talking about? Who's old enough to remember that? Okay. I have a feeling people are chatting and I can't hear them. I just have a feeling. I don't know. I just feel that way. We'll see. All right. So, and it's sticking on there already. So we're going to let that, we're going to do the same process on all 4 of them. And again, we're not going to do one side of them. We're only going to do 5 sides. Probably don't even have enough pieces cut to do 5 sides. Wasn't even thinking about that. Even if we get 3 sides done, these are still a nice little project for people. And you know, you could do just the top and the bottoms if you were doing this at home. I mean, it wouldn't be no big deal. All right. Cindy, you didn't have the roll either, did you? So paste and stick. Who here can paste and stick? Because if you can do that, you can make these. And my blocks aren't perfect. This one's kind of like got a funny little side to it. Okay. So those will dry. Now we're just going to simply flip them over to the other side. And we're going to repeat the process. Now I'm going to try to speed it up a little bit here. And I'm just going to kind of go right across, just like this. Because why do we have to be quick and dirty? Well, we'll be dirty. We won't be quick, right? All right. Okay. Now we're going to use a different pattern. I'm going to use the green one this time. All we're doing is peeling or placing and sticking. Remember, you can use the edible glue from the kindergarten. You can do this. All right. And then we're going to, you got it, flip again. Okay. And we're going to go across again. You want to put a liberal amount on here. You don't want like so much that is dripping off, but you don't want to have it so thin that your paper won't stick. All right, peel and stick, peel and stick. All right, you're also quiet tonight. What do you got to say tonight? As you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but these like have different color textures to them as you go. And it's just simply the way the pattern of the paper was. And then when I cut it. And like I said, these aren't perfect, but we're going to clean that up with the sander. Okay, now we're going to go the other way. One more. All right. And Mod Podge is pretty quick. It gets hard, and you will know. I probably will speed through this process so it won't dry as quick, messy, but I want you to be able to see the process. Okay, now I'm going to use the dark brown one. And it doesn't matter what paper you use. You can use any paper. Okay. You can see these aren't even on here perfect. They're just there. All right. So if you didn't catch my little test one of these the other day, I moved the attic around a little. I took my printers out from under my desk and put them over here so I can get to them a little bit easier. Now I can sit at my desk and put my legs under it. I wasn't doing that for a while. Okay. As you go, you're just going to kind of push these back down. They're not going to stick 100% sometimes, and that's okay. It dries. You can push them down further. And then, did I do the sawtooth? Oh, I didn't do the sawtooth one. So I'm going to do the sawtooth one now. And I do believe we have then done all the sides but the bottoms. At least I think we did. All right, here's the sawtooth ones. Here we go. So as I'm doing this, I'll tell you, I got a new position at work. And I started on Monday morning. And as anything, new positions are a little scary. This is a step up from what I'm doing now in health insurance claims. So, all right. So now we have all but one side covered. So we got the top, side, side, side. The bottom is not done. Oh, why do we don't need the bottom done if they're going to sit on top of each other, right? Now we're going to come back through and put a layer of Mod Podge on all sides. Why are we doing this? Because it's going to make this hard. It's going to make this stick even more. Those pieces that aren't down are now going to stick. So we want to put a layer over it, right? Does not need to be a thick layer, but we want to put a layer. This will, when you put it on, it's like Elmer's glue. It will dry clear once it's on. So I'm going to do like two sides and then come back and do the other two just simply because I'm trying to hold them down. Okay. So I'm just putting that on. Okay. Do the next two. Elmer's, Mod Podge the top. Good luck in your new position, but you will be missed. I will be missed, but I'm going to tell you, I keep saying I'm doing the cha-cha-cha slide, cha-cha-cha slide, because I'm really just moving over to the next area. I currently do what's called first-time claims. So if you're not familiar with health insurance claims, and if you didn't know this, my full-time job is a supervisor of health insurance claims. And that's like when you go to the doctor, right? You go to the doctor and you have your wife, they submit a claim and your insurance has to pay it. My team of wonderful people that are like family to me pay those claims. They make sure that your claims are paid and your insurance covers you. We do not like to deny stuff like people think, but sometimes we have to, right? It's like anything in life. So my team currently does that. My new team, Anybody want to guess what my new team is going to do? It's corrected claims. My new team, what they do is when a provider bills wrong, right? So you go to the doctor and you have a cold and they put that little code on the thing and they send it to the health insurance company. They might have put the wrong one in, broken toenail or something. I don't know. Well, we can't pay that because it doesn't match everything, right? So we have to deny that, right? Or they did something wrong. So the corrected claims are where the provider has to resubmit the claim because we refuse to pay it, and they have to put corrections on it, right? So my new team is the ones that overlay those claims and make those corrections. So it really is the next step in the process of what I currently do to learn how to make those adjustments. I am super excited because I'm going to get to learn something new and a new challenge to further myself. So who here has had a new job in the past 5 years? Or even since COVID? Anybody have a new job since COVID? Probably not. Most people pretty much, well, I don't know, a lot of people changed jobs. I changed careers during COVID. I went from nursing home skilled recreational therapy to a claims supervisor. Now you cannot pay me enough money to go back to the nursing home. It is just crazy out there right now. Anyhow, new job. It's working on Cher's craft. It's coming. Who's ready for summer break and the kids to be home? I know the kids are ready to be home, but I don't know who. Summer break's coming. Woohoo! I know a few, but not too many. Especially those moms who work at home. Okay, so I'm going to go back and I'm going to let those dry a second. And while they dry, just a second, because I'm going to pick them up anyhow while they're a little wet so I can show you. And it is hot up here, so they should dry quick. I'm going to show you one of the things we made this week. Jackson loves Elvis so much. He wanted a record player, so he got a record player, and he went to a used place in the Eastern Hills Mall called Vaughn's, and he found Elvis records and some other great artists and oldies. So he loves them. So we've been listening to the record player. I do have. It's been a minute since I had played a record, a vinyl, and did take a minute to remember how to do it all and where to put the stuff. And I know it's something so simple, but it was probably since I was a kid. So I was laughing. I almost had to call my next door neighbors who are just a smidgen older than me to be like, how do I use this? But I didn't. I figured it out. So speaking about that, we made a mouse pad with Elvis on it. Jackson picked it out. We made it. And now it's in the craft attic because he's usually up here helping me. So over here on the table, I can work and I have his Elvis mouse pad. So that was pretty cool. Another thing, you guys are going to laugh. I got an order for Father's Day this week that was like not kid friendly, but it was as cute as all get out. It had a nice saying about dads. Vinny's Vinyl is a great spot to go check out records. I heard that after we went to Vaughn's. We did say that Vinny's Records, and then the record place on, is it Main Street in I don't say Buffalo, but it's up there by UB campus. But he's super excited, and I got to tell you, so we went in, and they have tons and tons of records. So we went in, and I was looking for Christmas. I know I'm pushing the holidays, but I remember when I was a kid listening to Grandma Got Ran Over by the Reindeer on the record and some other songs at my grandmother's. And the other thing I looked for was polka, because that's what we had when I was a kid. We listened to a lot of polka, and they didn't have any of that. Can you believe it? I know. All right, so these are starting to dry a little. We're going to go back and do the side that we didn't do before. Okay, going in, Mod Podging around. And I'm just kind of getting it in there, getting it in the grooves that we might have missed before. Okay. You want to get that bottom too, because on that bottom, you want to get that piece so it doesn't come off. Okay. All right, so there's those. That one. Anybody still, Suzanne, you guys probably still have a record player. Anybody else still have one, or plays one, uses one? We were laughing because I was telling Jackson, and he's always like, Mom, I know these stories by heart. But I was telling him when I was a kid, my grandson stereo things, it was probably high tech back then. It was a large, like, piece of furniture, like, huge, like this big, sat about this high, and it had the speakers in the front. And when you opened the lid, there was a record player, an A track, and a AM FM radio. And boy, when I was a kid, it seemed like if you had one of those, you were in the know. You were popular. And we were all like, so when we were kids, we couldn't wait to go to grandma's and play the records. And we thought it was fun to look at the 8 tracks back then. My sister and I were like, ooh, that's fun. I do remember, and if my sister's watching this, and she's going to kill me, but I remember when we were kids, Michael Jackson was very popular, and she CDs or records over and over and over, to the point that I think my mother wanted to throw that record player out. Then it went to Bon Jovi, and Shot Through the Heart, I think, wore out that radio, that record player. Then I think we went to cassettes, right? We do, and Brylan takes guitar lessons, and we go almost every week to look at records. Granddad's was so cool. I had a similar record player, number 8 track, though. I also had a record player with a double cassette player, LOL. Yeah, it's funny that you say that. I think one of my grandmothers did have a, it had the cassette player, it had the 8 track. Yeah, had it all. Yeah, Suzanne, I'm really loving the going back to the vinyl. And it's funny because Josh said the other day, he kind of likes it too, but we were laughing because we said with Alexa, you're like, Alexa, play, and she's going to play whatever, and it's on demand, right? But a lot of people are going back to getting vinyl. It's becoming popular again. You can pretty much buy a record player in any like Walmart or Big Lots now. They're pretty much everywhere. Target. Of course, they're not like they used to be, but they are. I mean, the sound is much better than what you used to get them with you. So, and I think we got ours at Big Lots for like less than $30. It wasn't like it was that bad, but the other thing, Suzanne, do you know Windsor Village does, and I don't know all the details about it, but on Wednesdays she does, Kathy O'Keefe does a program where the kids, I don't know how you get involved in it or what, but the kids can come and they do, like, I would say a concert. She calls it a concert series, but they can play for the audience that's there, which is usually parents and whatever. And it brings people into the store. So it's a good little thing, but it's a fun event in the evenings on Wednesdays for the kids during the summer. And one of the reasons why she started it is Kathy felt that, the kids get out of school, they don't, have as much to do, but then they don't really use their skills for band or orchestra or whatever. So this way, they have that in the summer, and it gives them exposure to play in front of people. So that might be something you could check out for Braylon. But yeah, Braylon, sorry. That is, if you have kids in the Lockport area to do. And I think it's pretty cool, right? It's pretty cool that you can have a place to take your kids and do stuff like that. So it's over at Windsor Village on Stephen Street in Lockport. So these haven't dried 100%, but we're going to like go ahead just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take the one that's driest the most, and you can see like, I don't know if you can see them, but there's some edges on here that are just kind of sticking out from the paper. So I'm going to take my little handy dandy Dremel. Love this thing. Okay, there we go. And then we're just going to do the edges a little. Edges for that old timey look, but it's also going to get rid of those little pieces of paper that are sticking over the edge, right? And you can even go along, like I'm going along the edge to get rid of it here, okay? But then you can kind of even go like over top and rough up the edges for that worn look, right? A lot of people love that worn look. If you do not like the worn look, don't do the edges like that. As Shannon said last week, you do you. That fireball sitting here, it looks really nice. And then you're just going to flip it around and do every edge, okay? And then you can come back in here, and this is because it's still wet. It's not coming out as it's not fully dried. But, I'm just coming in, getting rid of it. I did get a flyer for it, trying to get Braylon to do it this summer. We also take him last Saturday of every month to acoustic play at B&B Bagels. Windsor Village has so many events. It's nice. The bagel place here, I didn't know they did stuff. And honestly, I'm going to tell you, I've never been in there. And every time we go by, I'm like, I need to go in there and try it out. Do they have like the boiled, do they do like the New York City bagels in there? Or is it just like Bagel J's? Or is it, I don't know what it is. They do sandwiches with bagels, right? Yeah, a lot of places in Lockport have so many nice, in our local area, have so many things. It's just finding out about them that's the difficult part. I'm gonna have to check out that bagel place and see what they got going on. It's funny because as I'm doing this, it's drying more and more. And again, you do as much as you want, as little as you want. I like the rougher edges. A lot of people don't like the rougher edges, but I do. You do not need to have a Dremel. You can do this with just regular old sandpaper. I think the Dremel just different look. And it's definitely quicker than using sandpaper. We're just going to do the one block tonight so you can get the hint of it. Again, if you're here, and I know I say this all the time, let me know, even if you just pop in and out so I know you're here. And, we can say hi. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay us so we know that you caught the replay. We'd like to see who we get. I mean, you guys are my supporters. You're here. I mean, I could do this without you guys supporting you. Okay. All right. So I made a mess all over myself, right? But who cares, right? Okay. So I now have my block, and it's like almost completely dry. And I don't know if you can see it. It's probably not. You can see that I got the rougher edges, and I know this one's hard to see because I had that one. Like you can see the rougher edges on that one. You guys, I know you can't hear it, but Jackson's down there singing Jailhouse Rock. Playing his video games. It's hysterical. So these are all the sides that I got done. This one I did a little too much, so I might come back in there later and fix it up. But this is the gist. I would do this on all 4 blocks once they're dry. And then what I'm simply going to do is pick the side I like the best. And that's always hard to do. Pick the side you like the best. And I really like this side. They bake them and have breakfast and lunch bagels as well. The Shares Craft Addict logo, I don't know if it's on your screen or not, but it's like right in the midst of the, can you guys see the chat as well? Or it, like only I can see it, I don't know. But the logo is right in the midst of it, so it's hard to read. I'm gonna have to figure out how to move that. But anyhow, I'll have to go check it out. Suzanne, do you know what time they open? Listen, we look at this. People who don't got to come up and try out the bagel place. Okay, so I got this side. I like that's the forward facing side. So if you stack these, you know, you're not going to see the other side. You're just going to see that one. So I got the letter F for fall. Y'all can use the letter F for whatever you want, but I'm going to use it for fall today. All right. And I also have my transfer sheet. So I'm just going to cut. I've used this transfer sheet probably 14 other times. I just save them. Okay. So I'm going to cut off a piece because I don't need that big piece to just stick something on here, right? So I did go with a lighter color letter. My fear is you're not going to see it. So I think it's going to be trial and error. But we'll see. So I'm just literally putting even if you get stickers at the store, you can use this method. Use clear contact paper. I get it at the Dollar Tree. Or this, because then you can transfer it over and not have to try to line it up as bad and get in the little pieces to I mean, it's just so much easier by using a transfer paper. Anyhow, so I got that, and I'm just going to center it on my my side I want to use. I'm just going to center it. I'm going to make it look kind of like, you know, I don't think I like this color. Let's do it on the dark side. Where's the dark side? There it is. And you're going to kind of just want to eyeball. I know that probably drives other people crazy. But I eyeball if it looks straight or not. I probably should have did it better. There's grids on this paper, and I didn't really use the grids to line it up. I probably should have. Okay. So once you have it where you want it, and I know it's not straight, so bear with me. Once you have it where you think it should be, you're just going to push down on it. Even if you use a pre-made one, cards work, spatulas work. I have these handy little, and then you simply are going to pull back. And I ripped a little of the paper here, again, because it's not completely dry. Normally it wouldn't rip, and you have the letter F there. I know it's backwards in the camera, but it is not backwards in person, I promise. So I just did rip this here, and again, it's because I did not let these dry. But I think the F does stand out. You could have maybe made these a little smaller. What I am going to do is come back in here once this is done, and I am going to use the spray, clear acrylic sealer, and I'm going to spray, and that's going to keep this vinyl from peeling up if it's out in the elements or anything like that. So that's what you're going to do, and you can stack these any way you want. You can do them like this, okay, like this, you know, any way that you think looks good. It's up to you, but you want 4 different ones, and you can do them, you know, this, whatever you want. I do have a friend that will probably be getting this set, and she has this cute little shelf, and it has like this little area, and these fit perfect in there. So she had asked, I don't think she's here tonight. Mrs. Greiner had asked that we, that I make her some. So this is what inspired me. So this is our fall project. Tell me what you think. Do you think it came out good? I mean, it's not fully done. But you get the concept of what we will do. I will finish it and send out a post on what it looks like probably in the next day or two. What time is it? How long have we been going? We hit the hour mark? God, I feel like I've been talking forever and you guys have been quiet. Oh, they open Tuesday to Friday, 7 to 2, and Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 2. Maybe I'll get a break from my new position and be able to go for lunch. I've been starting at 6. So maybe I can sneak out. Think I'll be able to sneak out, Cindy? Probably not until I get the hang of it, right? So when you're a kid, you like to peel the glue off that kid today. So anyhow, y'all have a great night. I'm glad you joined us. Again, if you're watching the replay, #replay. And next week, happy crafting until then.